Dr. Sanchez and classmates. My name is Marlene Sabeh, and I'm happy to present to you my project for this class, The Effects of HR Practices on Employee Engagement, What Works Best. I hope you find my presentation engaging and informative, and I look forward to your comments and feedback. Employees are true assets in any organization, public or private. The success of the organization immensely relies on the performance of its dedicated employees. Therefore, it only makes sense to analyze and understand the factors that enhance and promote engagement and satisfaction among employees, two factors that directly affect performance. In this project, my intent is to shed a light on the right HR practices that support employee satisfaction and ultimately their engagement as well. Among the several performance facets that HR practices affect are motivation, work design, efficiency, development, communication, and teamwork. So, the key to improving employee engagement revolves on better understanding these practices and the methodology to implement them. This is the overview of my project. The areas of HR to be discussed are selection and recruitment, motivation and incentives, training and development, performance appraisal, group work dynamics, communication, and employee recognition. A literature review will be conveyed based on peer-reviewed journals. A survey will be conducted at the student's workplace, then a compilation of data with limitations, comparing survey data with literature reviews data as well. A discussion and synthesis will follow, also possible future studies, and a conclusion. McAvoy and Buller, 2013, explained that strong HR practices start with a good model of a right fit or adequate configuration of the employee within the desired role. Although oftentimes firing and hiring issues are associated with the startup time of the company, HR should be immensely responsible for creating a powerful selection and recruitment framework that identifies the right employee for the specific role. Furthermore, Bruce Tracy, 2012, encouraged the formulation of clear shared perceptions regarding what is important for the company and what kind of behaviors are expected. The reasoning behind this idea is the fact that if HR would cultivate a strong climate for the company's shared perceptions, it will recruit the right employees who will achieve a higher level of performance. In addition, Platonova et al. 2013, in their study on innovative human resource practices in US hospitals, elucidated that innovative hiring and retention practices could save healthcare organizations millions of dollars in turnover costs. For example, focusing on a case study on Taiwanese hospitals, they found that the weighted influence of selecting and hiring the right personnel was about 31% of the total impact of other factors on engagement and performance. Lastly, the culture of the workplace is also a factor that HR should consider when recruiting employees. According to Swarnalatha and Prasanna, 2013, organizations that provide the right workplace culture with the psychological conditions of work fit role and are more likely to have engaged employees. Additionally, a study conducted by the Society of Human Resource Management in 2006 relayed that a successful recruitment tool is to design job advertisements that highlight the attractive features of jobs such as challenging work assignments, highly skilled team environment, or minimal supervision. Applicants who respond to these ads are more likely to be motivated by these features. Motivation. Personal satisfaction is a driving force in promoting employee engagement. Yang et al. 2015 deftly explained that employees who are encouraged to feel responsible for their work, who contribute to projects that lead to positive outcomes, are typically more motivated to work. This is where HR should focus on developing growth opportunities for employees as an incentive to advance and improve their performance. Furthermore, compensation plays an essential role in motivating employees. Alim et al. 2012 argued that performance-based compensation is an excellent way to motivate employees because studies have showed that there exists a correlation between compensation and performance, and in order to perform and succeed, employees need to be motivated. Therefore, if there is an adequate compensation system in accordance with employee performance, employees will make serious efforts to complete their tasks. Alim et al. 2012 asserted that compensation plays an immense role in engaging employees and improving their performance, and it is a great tool to recruit and retain skilled employees. Finally, Cruz 2013 highlighted how small non-cash incentives such as thank you notes, pizza parties, extra breaks, comp time, gift cards, featuring employees in company newsletter, and letting them bring their pet to work can motivate them to be engaged and connected to their jobs. In this short video, Melissa Van Dyke, president of the Incentive Research Foundation, outlines key research that proves that employee incentive programs are critical for business success in the new economy.
Winners in the new economy, those organizations that are really capturing the hearts and minds of their employees and of their customers, are organizations that are able to be much more agile. So whether it's that you need to focus your employees and salespeople on being trainers or innovators or brand advocates, all of those things are vital to being a successful business in the new economy. And non-cash reward and recognition programs play a really key role in helping organizations maintain that agility. The top performing businesses in the new economy, and I mean that statistically, so the top 20% of businesses, and that is calibrated by year-over-year sales growth as well as customer retention, that those organizations were significantly more likely to use non-cash reward and recognition as a part of their human resources toolkit. Those organizations that did use non-cash reward and recognition, interestingly, had 3 times the year-over-year sales revenue increases compared to those that did not. And non-cash reward and recognition programs have a well-documented long history in helping employees focus on non-core job behaviors and be very successful in them as well.
Training and development. Hyde, Sparrow, Bowden, and Harris, 2013, explained the individual, organizational, and mutual gains that employee training and development offer in terms of engaging employees. Individual gains revolve mostly around opportunities for a better work-life balance, having the chance for personal reflection during appraisal and training, aiming for more flexible work arrangements, and attaining job security. Organizational gains are realized through the practice of employee career development as they acquire new competencies and skills that reflect in their work and involvement. Mutual gains are the ones that allow to align employee and organizational expectations and provide benefits for both parties. According to Hyde et al. 2013, these gains are reflected in better involvement and communication between employees and organization. According to Maiden 2014, learning new skills and gaining new knowledge allow employees to experience a positive state of emotional and motivational satisfaction at work to a point where employees become more oriented to learn and even work overtime to stay engaged. As a result, employees continue to look for possibilities to develop new skills and knowledge. Platonova et al. 2013 conveyed that training and development for US hospitals employees improved group process skills, which in turn created a climate for employee engagement and communication. More on training and development. Bruce Tracy, 2012, found that employees with a clear understanding of how training and development are concurrently aligned with environmental dynamics, such as efforts by competitors to offer a broader array of relevant training opportunities, and this is to enhance development that stem from organizational growth and competitiveness, are more engaged and motivated to learn in advance. Kim and Sung Chun, 2013, analyzed the effect of training and development on employee engagement from a different lens. They conveyed that exposing employees to a broader range of knowledge and skills makes them less inclined to resist change, but rather be engaged in it and try to generate new knowledge and creative approaches. And finally, Young et al. 2015 explained that when employees are offered the opportunity to learn new skills and acquire more knowledge, there is a commitment to the process that involves everyone, and thus making them feel as members of a big united group. From here stems a strong feeling of engagement. Performance appraisal. Stoskopf 2002 explained that since performance appraisal and management is important to an organization, it should also be important to executives, and thus the need for their involvement and support in honing the process. In recent years, more CEOs have been getting involved in the performance management processes as a tool for communicating goals and performance expectations, as well as holding employees accountable for them. Consequently, employees see a commitment from top executives and become more engaged as a result. Another way of using performance management to engage employees is to involve them in the design process. What this means is rely on employee to gather input and suggestions in order to design the most suitable performance appraisal system. The resulting system is more relevant, meaningful, and functional. For this reason, Stoskopf 2002 underlined the need to train managers in performance appraisal so that it is appropriately implemented. Setting the right parameters, using the right tools, and having workshops and manuals to assist them are all good strategies to improve performance appraisals. Moreover, reviewing the design system annually is a strong tool to continuously improve performance management. Lastly, Stoskopf 2002 emphasized that linking improved employee performance with increased customer satisfaction will lead to better understanding the expectations, results, development needs, and all of these are signs of a healthy employee engagement. Colville and Milner, 2011, conducted a study on performance management and its effect on engagement and found that there was a causal link between performance appraisal and employee engagement. If metrics of performance are adequately conveyed to employees, they will feel engaged and be involved in improving their performance. If employees, through the appraisal process, understand why does the job exist, what does the job need to be delivered, and how is accountability measured, what competencies are required to perform the job, and what knowledge and experience underpin the job demands, they will be better engaged in aligning their individual performance with the organizational metrics. Imran, Haider, and Aziz, 2011, added that an adequate performance appraisal design has to rely on continuous and supportive monitoring. Otherwise, the design will fall into despair and will not be suitably implemented altogether. Vance, 2006, elucidated that managers can use routine discussions and feedback sessions to learn what is the employee's most satisfying and challenging aspects of the job. Or during a long lunch, managers can suggest ideas and relevant contributions and rewards. The informal setting of the performance appraisal allows manager and employee to build an engaging rapport. More performance management tools for better employee engagement were communicated by Vance 2006, who explained that a good performance appraisal design is one that clearly links the job objectives to organizational objectives. Additionally, rewarding positive contributions and addressing problem performances with coaching and remedial training sessions are powerful tools in engaging employees in the process of connecting their individual goals to job objectives. The following short clip provides important tips for a good performance management, and as you will see, it enhances employee involvement as a crucial component. In an effort to better understand the effect of thorough and innovative performance management processes on employee engagement, a case study illustrating the Adobe company's new system of performance appraisal is relayed. Hines, Sutton, and Rao, 2014, explained how in 2011, Adobe transitioned from annual performance reviews to a system called Check-in. Adobe executives believed that the stack ranking, the infrequency of the reviews, and the performance labels were becoming obstacles in the Department of Performance Management department, causing employees to disengage from the process and their tasks. According to Hind et al. 2014, Adobe then created a new system based on employees receiving feedback on an ongoing basis. The process was compared to pit stops in a race competition where tuning up and adjustments occur for better performances. These pit stops occur in real time, with employees and managers conveying feedback on a constant basis. The process is comprised of three components. First, expectations are set with clear role description, responsibilities, and success criteria throughout the year. Second, feedback and coaching are given and received on a frequent and timely basis. And third, growth opportunities are provided to increase skills, knowledge, and experience. Hines et al. 2014 elucidated in their study that the effect of the check-in process on employee engagement was huge. It completely changed how they felt about their jobs and growth opportunities. Employees felt like they truly are part of the company's success, so they started giving more. Group work dynamics. Young et al. 2015 explained that when companies create project-oriented tasks, they promote employee empowerment, which in turn enhances the level of engagement. Additionally, according to Yang et al. 2014, group work serves as an orientation process for employees on how to interact with coworkers, clients, and suppliers. The exchanges that occur in team-based projects and tasks allow employees to achieve better engagement with others and in their work. Communication. Sarnalatha and Prasanna, 2013, explained that a good communication strategy has proved to enhance the organization's credibility and energizes employees, which leads to trust building and employee engagement. Moreover, specific communication techniques such as communication from the top down builds employee confidence and buy-ins. Also, involving employees whenever possible, such as focus groups, solidifies the trust and communication. All information pertaining to changes, good or bad, infuses employees with a sense of belonging and commitment. Lastly, tracking results, dignifying feedback, and evaluating objectives of the communication strategies send a strong message to employees, enhancing their feeling of commitment and thus their engagement as well. To illustrate the importance of internal communication on employee engagement, please watch the following clip.
It's a very unique position to be in because it's one of the only jobs where you literally have to know what's going on at the company at all times in every pocket of the organization. And if you don't know, you need to know. Who knows that? And to be able to connect the dots in a really strategic and thoughtful way and to move the business forward. I can't tell you how many times I've connected the dots for people who are doing the exact same thing in different parts of the organization, and they really need to be talking to each other. And so in many cases, internal communications is one of those really unexpected places where business can be driven forward. And I agree, it's really a privilege to.
I led a study for the Institute for Public Relations last year, and we talked to 10 best-in-class companies in this area of employee engagement. And one of the points that I brought back in that study was you have to advocate a point of view or you will vacate the table. I mean, it really is true. The role that you play will be to counsel leaders on what they have to do to lead the organization, not just the communication, the kind of choices they need to make, the support they may provide for the culture, what they do with the talent pool, how they deal with the crisis. All of those things are really in your hands. And to the point that's made, employee engagement is really one of the most critical disciplines now, frankly, that any organization has. It's a very important tool. Use it wisely. Advocate that point of view, otherwise you will vacate the role that you have.
Another important HR practice that enhances employee engagement is recognition. Employee recognition efforts do not have to be big or costly. They can be little steps that make employees feel appreciated, valued, and thus become more connected to the company and engaged in their work. Alim et al. 2012 conveyed that employee appreciation days are immensely effective on employee engagement. Also, practices such as bonuses, both annual and micro, verbal praise, acknowledging special occasions like birthdays and anniversaries, personalized thank you notes, taking employees out to lunch, and extra days off are considerably impactful on employees' engagement. To better understand employees' preferences regarding the elaborated HR practices, I asked 22 of my colleagues at the local high school to fill out a relevant survey where they rated each practice with agree, neutral, and disagree on whether it better engages them as employees. This group is diverse in age, gender, and job nature. Some of us are advisors, tutors, IT specialists, and parent liaisons. This gives an overview about opinions from different perspectives. For the methodology, I opted for a survey in which I gather their feedback regarding the different HR practices elaborated in this project. This is how the survey will look like. I asked my colleagues to rate each question with agree, neutral, or disagree on the following practices, plus to specify which practice they feel will engage them the most. I hope to obtain enough data to compare with the literature review in order to corroborate the hypotheses. So questions about recruitment were formulation of clear shared values and behavior expectations, determination of work fit factor, advertising the attractive and challenging features of the job. In the area of motivation, performance-based compensation, non-cash incentives such as pizza parties, extra breaks, calm time. In the area of training and development, frequent opportunities, positive psychological state in learning new competencies. And in the area of performance appraisal, being part of the design system, metrics of performance clearly explained to employees, the featured check-in system. In the area of group dynamics, group-oriented tasks, sharing information within a group. In the area of communication, communication from the top down, involving employees in decision making, tracking results and addressing feedback. And in the area of employee recognition, Employee Appreciation Day, annual bonuses, verbal praise, and acknowledging special occasions. The following are the results of the survey conducted. In the area of recruitment, 82% agreed on formulation of clear objectives and expectations of behavior. 86% agreed on the work fit culture, and 73% agreed on advertising attractive and challenging features of the job. In the area of motivation, 90% agreed on performance-based compensation and 73% agreed on non-cash incentives. In the area of training and development, 82% agreed on frequent opportunities and 92% agreed on positive psychological state. In the area of performance appraisal, 96% agreed on being part of the decision making, 90% on the metrics, and 96% agreed on the check-in system. In the area of group dynamics, 82% agreed on group-oriented tasks and 86% agreed on sharing information within the group. In the area of communication, 68% agreed on top-down communication, 82% agreed on being part of the decision-making, and 77% on tracking results and addressing feedback. In the area of employee recognition, 68% agreed on Employee Appreciation Day, 90% agreed on annual bonuses, 90% on verbal praise, and 90% agreed on acknowledgement of special occasions. Finally, for the practice that employees thought is the best to improve employee engagement, the results are as follows. 32% chose being part of decision making, 23% chose verbal praise, 18% chose annual bonuses, 14% chose the check-in system, and 13% chose Employee Appreciation Day. The limitations of the study revolved on three factors. First, the scope of the study was small. The survey was distributed to 22 employees in 2 different departments. Second, we work for a nonprofit organization, so answers regarding compensation might have been skewed as a result. Third, opinions were given based on preferences and theories and not as a result of direct application. The results of the field research showed that non-cash incentives and recognition are just as important as cash ones. Employees often want to be valued, recognized, and appreciated. They want their opinion heard and their input taken into serious consideration while executives are making decisions. This is how they feel that they are committed to the company. They want to communicate with managers on a regular basis. It certainly gives them a sense of belonging. Nonetheless, compensation is vital because it is another form of appreciation as well as a successful method of employee retention. Communication and group dynamics practices enhance the relationship among employees as well as with managers. The research results were not different from the literature review despite the illuminated limitations. So it is safe to say that HR practices need to be more strategic in order for their effect to be positive on employee engagement. They need to address employees' different skills, goals, growth opportunities, and personal attributes. Implementing these practices is one way of aligning individual goals with company goals. Future studies could center on researching how the multiplicity of these practices would be implemented and what best combinations would produce maximized results. Furthermore, researching the difference in implementing these practices in small companies as opposed to big ones could be the focus of a future project. And lastly, studying what could be barriers to employee engagement is an excellent follow-up for this project, especially concerning generational, cultural, and gender differences. Employee engagement has proved to have several benefits, the most important of which are organizational success, employee retention, better productivity and performance, stronger commitment and loyalty, as well as customer satisfaction. As a matter of fact, Swarnalatha and Prasanna 2013 explained that employees with the highest level of engagement perform 20% better and are 87% less likely to leave the organization. It only makes sense to focus on improving HR practices in a strategic, more customized way that ensures a higher level of commitment and engagement from all employees. Different researchers have highlighted that employees are not just interested in material compensation and incentives. They like being valued as the important human capital that they are. Therefore, effective HR practices should engage the hearts of employees as well as their minds. This concludes my presentation. Dr. Sanchez and classmates, I hope you enjoyed it. I anxiously look forward to your feedback and comments. Thank you. The last 3 slides list my references.